A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
Isabella.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Can I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek and something cold has been suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
April, is she alright? Isabella? Isabella? Gosh, can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area indicates anything.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12 teen. No, that's wrong.
She's got brain damage.
Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
It's called
This
checking
time, I
for a
curiously
concussion.
regard the woman standing beside Rose.
Concussion.
Yep, checking for the concussion. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall.
No, you're just short. Like Blair.
Wow. Blair's like, well, time for me to not be a part of this anymore.
Oh, no.
Good job.
No.
Good job.
No.
Who is she anyway?
I'm leaving forever. Goodbye.
No.
One of the remaining cleaning
Clues?
One of the remaining cleaning crews? Yes, dressed like that. She's totally with the cleaning crew. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
Do it.
Do it.
Emperor Palpatine. I eyed them both warily, but recite everything as she asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance.
Ambulance.
Are you all right?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. Okay, stupid voice. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic and...
There
Oh, yeah.
was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last-minute...
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Nope. Yep. Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on
There's
forever.
a horrifying smile.
She's like, I just farted.
It wasn't me, I swear.
It's her saleswoman smile. Same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. You know, that Cheshire cat smile. It looks like they're about to eat you. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. God, she looks madder than hell. She's like, she takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and shakes the shit out of me. And with as much patience as she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call.
I don't understand. I dialed 1-800-GHOST. That's what you told me your number was. 1-800-GHOST.
Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
Like how they completely dodge her leaving the door open.
Right?
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. You know, extremely minor, just completely knocked me out, and I woke up hallucinating that I was in my bed. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing. That explains a lot.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
How noble of her to want to, you know, take part in that sale, too. Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus PRC promise, but that's completely beside the point. No, it is not. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. Jesus, she was on the floor the whole time? I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
Just in this little picture of her, blood just starts running from her bangs down her
Oh,
face.
God.
See, I'm A-okay. Yeah. The two of them exchange a worried glance and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation if she says no.
All right, you in.
Smile threatens to slip out from me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. I'm gonna scoot up a little bit. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is, but not in a scary, negative way. Far from it. Actually, her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect, so she feels like she's kind of authoritative.
Respect my thought time.
Exactly.
Time.
In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
She did the fart smile again.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Marianne McCulloch. There you go, Blair. That's your new favorite character. She hands Rose her business card. Trelly Rose Designs.
Interior designer.
McCulloch at
Xmail.
xmail.com. 44 5387 071 83 642. Hut hut. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips. I thought it said before my partner flips out. Who's it over? Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her though. Wow. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. It's just as cursed as it used to be. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. No, I'd have iPads in the walls. I'd take all those fucking portraits down. Have iPads in the walls. That stained glass back there, as beautiful as it is, I'd still remove it. I'd have like Google Glass in it. So you just look at the weather. Okay. After all, with what it offers, this place could be also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm. I wouldn't put Google Glass in it because you go to YouTube while it's nighttime, standing there, and then the fucking ghost pops up in the YouTube video.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just stopped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Oh, Rose's
I can't
confusion is
quite
impossible to
place
miss
the
when she
accent.
glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look.
Oh, the accent?
McCulloch, I believe, is Irish or Scottish.
Is it Irish or is it Scottish?
Well, you also have a thing in games where they cast a Scottish character with an Irish actor. Stuff like that happens too. Rose's confusion, blah 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 blah.
You already know.
And I know that. And against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah Wright? She hired me to handle the interior design for their new home.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
Oh my God.
It is, but
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Oh shit, we got a choice. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. We'll check with our supervisor? I don't know.
We'll check with our supervisor. Seems professional for them.
I agree. I guess we'll check with our supervisor. I almost want to say
I
don't know.
want to go with I don't know because she's in that funky state.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I kind of want to
true.
do that one.
Yeah, that makes fucking sense. Yeah, that's right. She's got to. I mean, she couldn't even count from 15 back. She got 13, and then she went 12-teen. So I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I'm agreed. Blair, you agreed?
We're sorry, ma'am. We don't really know what's going on here. If it's okay, maybe we can...
Aren't you the ones in charge here? How can you not know what's going on here?
Don't yell at me. I got a concussion, you biatch.
Right?
You see, Miss McCullough, right now, the house is...
Amazing how she can keep her voice level yet still convey utter displeasure with it. I've dealt with people acting the opposite before, and if I were to choose, it's much easier to handle clients who talk your ear off when angry. People like her are the hardest to read. Beside me, I shoot Rose a pleading look. She returns it with a glare before taking the reins from me and attempting to smooth out the situation.
She's got a concussion. Fuck you both.
All right. It's like you're gonna lose us soon. There's a promise in it that we will be talking about this later. I'm not looking forward to that at all. What can I do? She can do. She can deal with this better than me. I just hand her the letter and run out of the house. Good luck, bitch. Who knows what might come out of my mouth if I handle this on my own.
We're really
Eventually, she
sorry,
still has
ma'am.
the letter.
My partner's probably still a bit winded from her fall.
I would assume she still has the letter.
If she's unwell, then she shouldn't be working here right now.
Fuck you.
We chose this path, though. She raises a hand to rub the side of her temple as if to stave off the beginnings of a headache.
Never mind that. I just want to know what's going on here.
I thought my client already owns this house and my services are needed.
Oh wow, you could tell that the audio sounded completely different.
Yeah,
from what
they
it sounded-
recorded that on a different day.
Yeah,
Somebody phoned that shit in.
but the line is completely wrong to what was said.
Yeah, they probably phoned that shit in later and just nudged the script a little bit. Script.
Yeah.
Next.
Perhaps there's been a confusion then. We haven't heard anything from our supervisors regarding a closed deal for this property yet. In fact, today's only the first day of our open house. If you wish, we can call them and confirm for you.
That wouldn't be necessary, but thank you for being direct with me, Miss Cooper. I already thought something was a little odd earlier. If you'll excuse me, I need to talk to my secretary.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. This seems to be the end of it. Or that seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial a number to our Luxburn office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I'll be very frustrated if, for some reason, something has already been decided without mine or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Oh, shit. Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Wow. Then again, Rose said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia, a temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Bitch, you saw a ghost. Probably.
Stanky ghost me. Twice.
Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such. Better. So I've got that italic there on better. Better to think of it as such. So I can work in peace. Yeah, let me just fucking bury my head in the sand like an ostrich. I didn't see a ghost. It didn't grab me and trip me. It was the carpet. It jumped up and grabbed me. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. Wow, that's the first smart thing she's thought. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose has just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money.
Fuck.
Oh, well, that's, did you see that, Blair?
Yeah.
That's,
Go for it, Blair.
A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I feel. I'm not sure I should. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this.
Wait, don't those things like to land on people's heads and take off with the hats and stuff?
I don't know. I've never heard of a magpie. I just imagine they poop a lot.
Oh.
They're scavenger birds.
Oh.
So they do. They probably fly off with shit. Grab your hat. But
They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facet appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
And that means we're in European place.
Yep.
Yeah, ground floor
He's got
is-
it. He knows
yeah.
about ground floor and first floor instead
Yes.
of first floor, second floor.
Yep.
Hearing this, a few wonder to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCall also join our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Wow.
That
Oh,
voice does not
you know
match.
each other?
Doesn't fit.
It's just no.
I always thought it fitted pretty good. Thought it fitted pretty good. I don't know, because he's supposed to be smug, right?
It's too bassy for that body type.
Maybe it's just the volume.
I don't know.
Not at all,
Anyways,
ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine? Or the television? I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman, in particular, is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they're brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple.
And that says...
Only sunshine?
Sunshine? Yeah.
Yep.
My only sunshine, yeah.
That's a nice ring because it's like embedded, so it doesn't stick out.
Mm-hmm.
That's more
It's an
convenient.
engraving.
Yeah.
Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave enough and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, the papers in hand, I lead the way. See change?
Okay. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh, ah, over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all. More than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Mom, you haven't finalized anything with an agent yet. I would really advise against making plans this early when...
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen.
Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
Oh god, his face.
Well, he's an alcoholic. This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up, Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms assigned to him. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard since the start of the tour. Only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this time something lights up in his eye at the mention of the Undercroft. Booze? What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute when I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. Oh, and a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Damn.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
Wonder if that ever comes into play. The horse stable. Probably dilapidated or gone, just rotted away. There's a contemplative expression on Mr. X's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. God, she's fucking scary looking. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC has had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale.
Scene change!
When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat.
She's being infiltrated by an elder god.
I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me, everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer.
Oh shit.
Until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there? Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's... Hold on. She looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Yeah, she does, actually.
Yeah, she's like,
Oh,
Are we gonna
please,
ignore the
sweetie,
picture
don't
in the
insult
background?
me. Money is not a problem.
we're gonna what, Blair?
Say that one more time.
Are we gonna ignore the picture in the background? It's just eerie. It's like, nah, it's definitely not that same couple. Nope.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's this? It looks like, I guess... Wait, who's that? I don't know anybody. Oh.
I mean, it is interesting that they look like that couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy. It's the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah, I mean that's why it's the biggest picture in the scene.
Ah,
Obviously, they want you to look at
well,
that.
biggest difference. She's got honker. She does not.
Idiot.
What?
No, it's about the same. It's the
Similar
type of dress
yeah.
they're each wearing.
I mean, based on the clothing, don't they usually have like the little thing that underbusts it? So yeah, she doesn't. really have-
corset?
Corset. That's what it is.
Oh, it looks like she's wearing a girdle. I know that's not what that is. That's what it looks like.
Okay. Yee.
Moving on.
And just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
Meow.
What's wrong with cats? You don't like
I
cats?
personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, Ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Wow. You are failing, Isabella. You are failing.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
You get the idea that you get the idea that this couple's gonna get this house no matter what the fuck happens. Like, no matter how rich all those people there are, they're richer, and they're just gonna keep throwing money at it until it's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're so confident
A
about
little
it.
extra to help you with the paperwork.
No.
Oh.
Give her a bag of
We actually have a
change.
process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
Gosh, she looks so surprised. Like, surprise butt sex? What?
Wow.
And now that he's actually been talking more, yeah, the voice does fit.
Yeah, just that first time you hear him, he's like,
It
real
was
bassy.
like extremely low. Like, what?
Maybe that was a re-record.
Anyways,
What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder.
Jesus, vicious.
I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCall, who only looks away with a sigh.
I saw a butterfly on the top left. That means butterfly effect, right?
Yeah, like a decision we made.
Affected I guess that particular line? Okay, cool.
Maybe
Her
that's what-
response.
Okay.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time.
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel. Isabella.
Keeps getting her name wrong.
Douche.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
God.
Fucking wow. Okay, Han.
No. This actually makes me wonder. Is she doing it on purpose because she doesn't care? Is she doing it on purpose because she's trying to actually associate with someone in the past? If my assumption is. Like,
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
or is it just something to think about and it's a red herring? Who knows? Anyways.
It's been a while since we looked at anything to do with this, and there's like a bazillion different outcomes, and I think actually what is what can actually change too.
You know,
Yeah.
if I recall, and I'm talking about like in real life standpoint, there's also people who, when people say a certain word, they hear a different word, so they constantly repeat it back.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Yanni
yeah,
Laurel
yeah.
thing.
No, there's douchey people who
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care.
Let's move this along.
It's
Yes.
Isabella. Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors, too, and... What's this?
Oh no, the letter.
Oh, this is a... Would this be considered a scene change?
It's still the same.
D-list horror prop.
A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That creepy
That's,
animation
um,
style.
An interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
You notice the animation style, the art style of the pictures, of the stills, are completely different when something super creeptastic is going down. So anytime you see this style, it's like, uh-oh.
It's a juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with... what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as... dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled.
Wow.
But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything.
Oh, shoot. That line makes me recall. That's right. She brought the papers in for Rose, and they double-checked. So how did that get mixed in?
It has power of its
Oh.
own. It just fucking materialized in there. It wanted them to see it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's 3. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hana's leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breath grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that no, I'm not all right. I want to leave this place.
Get the fuck out.
Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter and those blood-soaked limbs in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Oh, she looks horrified
Oh
there.
my god.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them what... How do I even tell them that without looking like I'm gone mad?
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Should I even tell them?
Oh.
Don't show the letter.
Yeah,
Don't show the letter, I got it.
Don't show the letter. No,
I-
don't show the letter.
Rose,
The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her. I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please believe me.
Dear me. Is Isabella alright?
Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched in her features. On her features. Nah. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit
Ah,
under
sit.
my
There
chair.
you go.
Fuck, so it happens anyway? Fuck.
For the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McAuliffe asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines, although curious. He appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax. A cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No. I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up with me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day.
Yeah.
Wow, she's very forgiving, actually.
Yeah.
And look,
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down at her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper.
Fuck.
It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it, nevertheless. More as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. No, don't do that. That's bad. But I have this nagging feeling that, one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
Oh.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasped her hand together. She clasped her hand together? Her hands together in
Yeah.
front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Oh, good God.
Noob.
Moving on. It's already past 6.
Hey, I already said
At
that.
the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happen. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
Okay.
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint.